Last question,
Hmm.
and which is my favorite question. What type of coach would you call yourself, and what's the misconception that others get about life coaching?
I would like to just call myself life coach, and I want that to be like the final term of that. So like
Mm,
that's always it's weird to say it because life coach is always the way people start,
mm,
and I would like it to where people end too. Because when you start off as a life coach, because that's like the most basic version of a coach is a life coach. You're just not learning about it, and then when you start getting better, a lot of them learn that you gotta kind of have a niche. You gotta specialize. What kind of people would resonate with what you're talking about?
mm,
And so people will branch into business coaching, or they'll branch into like relationship and marriage coaching, and once they find what they're really good at, they'll move in those directions. But to be a really good coach, you kind of learn the principles that are good for all of those things.
mm,
And so the final form of a coach who's learned everything they can, you're going to learn how to do all those anyways. And so you become life coach, but that becomes all encompassing.
mm,
I'm not just a life coach who can help you with your like some of the problems in your life. I'm now a coach that can help you with all aspects of your life, like everything, business, relationship, all that stuff. And so that's the title I would want to go over. I use executive and high performance to kind of really hammer down the kind of people that I'm working with here.
yeah, okay, okay,
But
okay.
the biggest misconception here is part of it is like people still don't even know what coaching is. A lot of people don't even know. Like if I there's been so many times where I'm at a networking event, I'm like, oh, I'm a coach. Like, oh, well, what does that mean? That's the most common question is, oh, what does that mean? What kind of work do you do? And along with the regards of people not knowing what coaching is, a lot of people still compare it to therapy or consulting or counseling, which are all completely different things. And so to break that down, why they're different, counseling is advice based on what's worked before. And so when someone's counseling you, they're like, okay, the path that gets you to the direction you want, this has been proven to work, and so that's the advice I'm going to give you. When you're consulting someone, you're using your own experiences to help you build something like a business
Mm,
that you've already gone through. But the problem there is the still same thing. Is you're trying to build someone else's business like yours, consulting has an issue because your business may not always work the way of someone else's, and that's kind of why you stick to your lane. If you're working with if your experience was managing a roofing business and making it successful, you want to consult other roofing businesses. And then that goes to the aspect of therapy, which is the closest thing to coaching. But the reason they're different is because therapy is questions based on healing someone. If someone
mm,
is broken or hurt or some way, some form of healing, that's what therapy is for. But and coaching is focused on the growth aspect. Like coaching, you don't look for people who are broken when you're a coach. You look for people who want more, who
yeah,
want
okay.
more just out of life, out of anything, who will just want to be better as people, better at the best in their field, anything. Like you look for a coach when you want to grow, and that's those main differences. And yeah, the biggest misconception is that people lumped all that into therapy. It's like coaching is just one of those things instead of being its own term.
Do it get frustrating? Do some of your clients kind of not make it hard for you to deal with them, but do it get frustrating to you when you have to find the questions, I mean, to find the answers that you have to give them, or do it be like, all right, now hold on, let me call you back real quick. Let me see, let me see what can I do. Cause I know ain't no job is easy. Like anything that you love to do, passionate about it, it's gonna get frustrating. But by you having the love for it, how do you find the loophole to get through helping this person right here come over their dark space?
I don't know if there's any loopholes because there's always this. If you're walking steps, you can't skip stairs. If there's a staircase you have to get somewhere, you can't skip it. You have to walk those stairs. And so if there's somewhere that someone has to get to, I'm gonna help them get there. And I don't think I've never felt frustrated if I had to explain something, despite the fact that I have explained the definition of expectations and confidence to almost every client I've ever had, to the point to where I feel like I'm annoying people,
Mm.
but it's always fresh to every other person. And I'll never feel frustrated about explaining it because I know, okay, this is somewhere they can grow. I've never felt annoyed that someone had to be explained something, only because it's like this is where their level of growth is. Perfect. I know where I can help them.
Mm. So what's your biggest challenge in being a life coach in general?
My biggest challenge. I think my biggest challenge has been one that I built myself. And it's like it wasn't on purpose, but it's like I for the longest time wanted to remain a low profile coach. I wanted to be I wanted to be that CEO's back pocket secret weapon, you know, like when the CEO goes to the meeting and gives a killer meeting, tells everyone the great decisions they're doing, and builds something. I wanted that guy to come back and give me a phone call, be like, "Hey, that worked out really well." I wanted to be that guy that was like in the shadows that didn't really know, that people didn't know about, and I learned about that because in the executives area, sometimes people are embarrassed to like hire someone who's really well known. Like if a CEO hires Tony Robbins to work with him, they might be a little apprehensive to tell other people because people are like, "You need Tony Robbins to help you out, really? That's what you're doing." So they'll attribute a lot of their success to Tony Robbins instead of the actual CEO who hired him to help him do this thing. But if you have someone that no one knows, you'll never have that issue. That's kind of where I wanted like a lot of my presence and my work to do. But the struggle here is now is like I've got a magazine now. I'm on the cover. I can't hide like that anymore. And so it's the struggle has been like, do I keep this low profile aspect still has benefit, but at the same time I know I can reach more people and help more people if I'm more out in the open. And so I think that's trying to kill the old me that wants to stay hidden is probably the struggle here, and letting me embrace the person that people like. A year ago, I would have said no to this podcast. I would have not even went on it. I'd be like, and it's not because it's not worth it. It's because I don't want people to know who I am. I want it to be hidden. I want to be the guy that no one knows unless you want me to know about you. But now it's like in this moment, it's like I need to become someone who people know again. I don't need to be afraid to be approached at Walmart anymore. That kind of thing, you know, like Tony Robbins can't go to Walmart because people are like, "Oh my God, it's Tony Robbins!" They're gonna swarm him. Oh. And now I can't be afraid to be that person anymore. And so I've got to be someone who's willing to go out there and just have someone walk up to me and say hi. I need to be willing to be someone who the benefit of everyone knowing me and what I can talk about is so much bigger if people know who I am versus me being hidden.
I'm glad that, like I say, I'm glad that you even made time to even give me some of your time. And I'm glad that I am, or I was part of you, you know, being on the public. I don't know how far he's on the public, but I'm glad to be part of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going all the way, and I'm grateful that you gave me the chance to be part of this adventure of yours too. Like this podcast is going places, and so it's gonna be nice to be able to look back and be like, I was part of that too. Whenever that was just getting big, I was in there.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. We're gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate your time, man. Ron
Sepulveda the second.
Ron even got his autograph on it. This is my copy.
It's his.
This is my copy. I had to bring it, you know, because I don't want to just. This is the man that's actually on the magazine. My first guest, actually. You know, I have friends and things of that nature on there, but my first professional guest, Ron. I can't pronounce his last name, but this is my copy. I don't know if he got copies in different areas or whatever, but I got my copy with the autograph on it. But thank y'all for tuning in to the sit down. Catch us Monday, the full episode, or I might chop it up and put the whole episode, or chop it down. Like I said, I might chop it up, put different parts on the sit down on my YouTube channel, Chris P8732. You're gonna see, you might see a couple episodes on here. So my boy Ron, man, thank you for coming in, Ron.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure being here, and I'm gonna make sure I find more people to bring in for guests for him too. So stay tuned.
Oh man, that's what it's about, networking. Whoa, we out of here.
Have a good one.